with cooperation between the British government and the French government, which is why we saw those pictures of Emmanuel Macron, the French president, with Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, a month ago. So this was part of that treaty. And what they're trying to do is to slash that backlog of how to deal not just with any migrant coming to the UK, but illegal migrants who cross by small boats, especially over the English Channel. So they will have a one-in, one-out pilot scheme that will last until June next year. And what they're trying to do is to get rid of the criminality in terms of the smugglers, the boats, and crossing international waters illegally, as has happened with a lot of deaths, of course. And so Yvette Cooper, the Interior Minister, is quite clearly that they want to try and get rid of any criminality, and this is one way to do it.
I think this is really important. The groundbreaking principle here is that people can be returned to France if they arrive on these dangerous and illegal small boats. In return, we will take people who have applied legally through a legal process, been through security checks. Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. How do they actually find these people once they're in? How can they track them? And how many people can they actually return to France? This has been a politically divisive question for such a long time. So one of the things they will try and do is when the smugglers are using social media, they advertise online, they will be able, the UK government will try and track them down, and even if they are outside the UK, they will try and criminalise them and take them to court. So there's a rumour that they're trying to get 50 people a week, possibly back to France, with 800 people arriving every week. Then how much of a deterrent will it be? That's the really difficult task for the UK government.
Well, as you point out, this has been a politically divisive issue for some time for different UK governments. How are they planning to deal with this differently now?
I think they realise there's a lot of resentment, not just in Britain, by the way, but across Europe as well. There's a lot of political divisiveness around this issue. You know, about half of people in Britain want migration to be dealt with in one way or the other. What that doesn't show is actually the number that come by boats is actually quite small. 25,000 up until the end of July, but that is twice the number that came last year. So it's an increasing number. This is why there's a pressure on them. But it's not just in the UK, there's also the problem in Spain, in Italy, in Greece, and that's why the EU as well are trying to crack down on illegal asylum seekers, to deport them back. That is in front of the European Parliament before long, and I think the national governments in Italy, Spain and Greece especially will be looking closely to see whether this cooperation between France and Britain actually succeeds.